it goes out of hand, look for a psychiatrist. Do not be told that you are too strong and you are facing arrows without an armor. Indeed, anything to do with the mental state is quite a complex issue that needs to be addressed with immediate effect. Even if you're operating on fuel or something, it reaches a point that the car breaks down. In most cases, we feel like we should never cry. That is, they normally definitely say that a man should never cry.
Welcome to the Ostination channel. This is where you find the most creative, talented, innovative people around town. So guess what? Today I'm not talking about creativity, innovativeness, because as much as we need the creativity, innovativeness, and the talents, people forget to take care of themselves. If you don't take care of yourself, how will you take care of others? So today I'm with one Dr. Oliver. You have seen him in my previous video. And well, he did not say much about himself, but he is a doctor, qualified by the way, and he will be talking about mental health. How do you maintain your mental stability in this world where there's so much noises, so much going on, breakups, money issues, people are going into debt. So we'll be talking about that. Hey, Dr.
Okay. Thank you, brother. Thank you once again for welcoming me.
Thank you.
Indeed, anything to do with the mental state is quite a complex issue that needs to be addressed with immediate effect. Yes.
The fact that the youths, today I'll be talking about the youths, because you see a youth smiling at you, tomorrow you wake up, he hanged himself. So I want to understand, how does this issue come up where you can't understand what is going on about a person?
Yeah, definitely. And when you're talking about the youths, personally, based on personal research and the regular things that we see in the news, majority of these cases emerge from the male counterparts compared to the female counterparts.
Very true.
And this is especially because the male counterparts or the male youths, we generally lack the voice. We generally lack the person to address our grievances to. So we hold it too much to a level that it explodes. Yeah? And that is why we are seeing a lot of suicidal cases around. We are seeing a lot of mental breakdown. We are seeing a lot of stress. Just the other day that we saw another guy poisoning himself in the studios. And this is a person whom we considered one of the most established DJs around the country. This person had whatever thing that he needed in life. But as long as your mental state is not at peace, then definitely that is the repercussion that we are likely to face, yeah.
So who do the men run to? Because we are experiencing a lot, and still we don't have anyone to turn to, because you can't turn to your girlfriend and tell him, hey, I'm going through this. Can't go to your mother and have him burden of, I'm not feeling this. So who do we go to?
Okay, when we talk about such states, I'll give you a brief background because of myself, because I was raised by a single mother. And when you're raised by a single mother, you tend to be as strong as possible so that everyone in the society sees you as a man who is capable, a man who can achieve this and that. But at the end of the day, when you are trying to achieve all this, there is something that we are always missing. You are a human being. You are not operating. Even if you are operating on fuel or something, it reaches a point that the car breaks down. It also overheats because it works a lot. So when your brain overworks, you'll definitely start feeling it on your physical aspect. Remember, the World Health Organization defines health as a complete mental, physical, and social state of health, but merely with an absence of a disease or deformity, which means there must be a loose end in us. There must be a loose end in us. And when your psychological health is not at a perfect state, your physical health is being affected, and then your social life is being affected. Then the social life perspective. When you have people, that is what my brother was asking, when we are talking about the support, the family support, the friend support, that is why we are talking about your social life. Do you go to church? What is your interaction with your pastor? What is your relationship with your friends at the church, the fellow congregants? What is your interaction with your mother? What is your interaction with your father? What is your interaction with your immediate girlfriend? What is your interaction with your wife? These are things that we need to talk about, because as a man, in most cases we feel like we should never cry. That is, they normally definitely say that a man should never cry. Trust me, at this age and at this height and body size, I still cry when I feel something. When I'm too depressed, you'll ask my girlfriend, my wife, she'll definitely tell you that when I'm depressed, I definitely cry on her shoulders. Yeah.
So a man should cry.
A man should cry.
So we should break that. It's a myth.
We should break that myth, and that's the general societal perspective that we need to break. Do not be told that you are too strong and you are facing arrows without an armor. Don't go into war without an armor, and make sure you have those support. Your military counterparts, your warriors. Now that is your social support. You need these people to keep you moving. Yeah.
So, still to my question, who do the men turn to?
We have people around us, but we fear to turn to them because, for instance, assuming we are friends here, the reason why I'd be afraid to turn to you is because when I talk to you about this, I'll definitely be hearing outside. Yeah, so I tend to hold it. I'll tend to hold it inside to a point where my heart now starts bleeding. And when it starts bleeding, I start developing thoughts, suicidal thoughts. I want to take drugs in order to calm it down. That is why you find most of the youths engaging in drugs and alcohol abuse, you see. But then, the best person to turn to is always your parent in case you have one. And then develop a baseline framework for your friends. We have friends, we have people who are very close to you whom you can talk to. No matter what the situation, we have people who can always assist you. And if it goes out of hand, look for a psychiatrist. We have very good psychological experts out here who can give you the necessary advice. Look for someone, just go to church. If you have a friend in church, if you know a pastor, pastors they also play a major role in our psychological health. Share it out. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I want to talk about in matters of mental health. You'll find a person. And when he comes and he fears to open up to you, because maybe, okay, this is someone I'm looking up to. This is someone who is looking up to me. I mean, I'm the one who provides for him. I'm the one doing this. I'm the one doing this. So how do I open up to him and tomorrow still face him on other different issues?
So now that is called impact absorption. As the head of the family, I'm the sole provider for my family. And most likely, even to our parents back at home, I think I'm putting myself in the situation of that young man or that young guy somewhere. When I perceive myself to be weak, the general family members will think that I'm weak. But if I continue to remain strong and I'm hurting inside, I'm likely to die earlier and leave my family suffering. So here is the thing. Do I speak and gain the relief? Do I retain whatever thing that I'm feeling and then end up developing chronic conditions like cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, blah, blah? It happens. So the best thing to do is, no matter what the situation, do not always be strong. You can't always be the strong one in the relationship. You can't always be the strong one when you're going for wrestling, that every person that comes, let me beat him. Every person that comes, let me beat him. At the end of the day, you remember the story of Goliath and David. At the end of the day, David killed Goliath. And it might have been, I wasn't there, but it might have been because this guy had experienced a lot of pressure before. So at this time, he was weakened. Yeah.
So let's talk about this one. When someone is sending a message, he sends a message to his friend, says, I know you're going through a lot of things, and you still talk to me. You see, like when you're texting your best friend, you text him and you are encouraging, you're trying to encourage him.
Yeah.
You're saying you're going through things, but I know you're strong and you're there for me and all this. Do you encourage that? Or does this lead to people being more weaker?
There is something that we need to understand. When I reach to you as a friend or as a brother, know that I've hit the wall already. I need your help. So the society should learn to help where necessary. Because if you reject me and I'm counting on you as the person who can help me at this time, then it means what I'll go back to do is that what I'll be thinking is that no one cares about me. Then what next? It is suicide. So when a person sends you a text message like, I need your assistance, listen to this person. Do not be so quick to judge, because the immediate thing that we normally hear when a person sends you a message, hi Oliver, I need to speak to you, there's something that we need to discuss. You'll just hear someone say, we anataka pesa. That is not the correct approach. If anataka pesa, go listen to this person. Kama hauna, mwambie, my brother, I've heard your problems, but I cannot be able to assist you because right now I'm also done what? I'm also empty. You see? But then there are some people who genuinely needs your assistance, because personally I'm a victim of depression, and most of my friends knew me from KMTC. I think I lost about 33 kgs in a span of 2 months in 2016. Everyone said Oliver wants to commit suicide. You never know. All these issues come up because of relationships. They come up out of financial issues. But no one wants to listen to the story. Everyone wants to conclude to the story. You see? And when we continue with such perception, then we'll definitely be recording a high number of suicide cases in this country. We'll definitely be recording a lot of disassociation between youths and the general community, because I want to be alone. You see, that is what we call isolation. So when I want to be alone, the fact that I want to be alone is a modifying factor that leads to my suicide, that leads to my death. Okay? Yeah.
There is this friend of mine. I posted WhatsApp status.
Yes.
So I was encouraging people who are going through that hard time, and I was saying, like, guys, you have been strong, continue being strong. And then he approached me in my DM and he was like, this message is making the strong weak. Do you believe in such?
No. Send it out when you can. Just send it out. When you're crying, to the moment that you cry it out and everyone hears that you are indeed hurting, you'll definitely find help out of the critics. Yeah.
So you support that we should be encouraging those people who are going through that hard time?
Yes. We should be. Because as a society, it is our mandate. You know, in the first episode, I believe we talked about being an island. No man can exist as an island. You see? In this life, you need people to thrive. Because if you establish a business right now and you do not have people to purchase things from your business, then definitely your business will fail. Will you be eating your own food? You can't really survive alone. We have people who say they're self-made, but at least there must have been someone who picked them up from somewhere. You see? Yes. So when this person communicates such, we call them sensitive issues. Take your time, sit down with this person, listen to this person. But please, I know generally human beings, we have a loose tongue. You see? When we have a loose tongue, we end up speaking about the affairs of other people, the things that they share with us in secret. We come out to share it out with the other people, which does not make sense. At the end of the day, instead of helping this person, you are just adding more pain to this person's life. Then when he commits suicide, then we can consider the consequences, the repercussions onto you. Yeah, you see? Yeah.
So mental health, what do you need to be mentally healthy?
As earlier defined, mental health does not exist alone. Mental health revolves around the physical health, the social health. You see? When you're talking about the physical health, we are talking about nutrition, we are talking about exercise, you see? And we are talking about your health characteristics. Are you a person who when you feel sick, you rush to take medication, or are you a person who when you feel sick and you rush to the hospital for consultation? Remember, we are also experiencing something called antibiotic resistance in this country, in this world generally, because we've abused so many drugs to a point that even the strongest medications like Augmentin, they are no longer effective on the condition that they are prescribed against. You see, so when that thing occurs, it means that our bodies are becoming weaker. Okay. adequate nutrition, we have micronutrients, or we have micronutrients like selenium, and we also have even what do we say? Or what do we say? They normally criticize it a lot. I mean, I'll remember it and tell you. When we consume a lot of diet that is good, that is well balanced, that is nutritious, and when you're talking about nutrition, you're talking about it must be adequately packed with the necessary carbohydrates, it must be packed with the necessary proteins, it must be packed with the adequate fats. Oh, we are talking about cholesterol, by the way. Cholesterol is also good for the brain function, so you don't have to really do away. Nothing is really entirely good, and nothing is really entirely bad. So you have to minimize the amount of cholesterol, but you make sure it is part of your what? Part of your diet, you see? So when you take adequate nutrients, it means your body functions normally. The blood flow to the brain is adequately achieved. This is the same perspective with what? With the exercise. Exercise ensures continuous supply of the blood throughout your what? Your entire body. And remember, when your blood pumps through the entire body, it means it goes in a circular manner, in a continuous and consistent manner, so that even the waste removal is facilitated easily, you see? So when you achieve that balance, it means that your brain function will also, you will be receiving frequent supply of oxygen inside your brain. And that is why I was telling you now, you have to reconnect the physical, the social, and the what? And the mental perspectives. And now the social perspectives come in. How many people do you have around you that can provide you with support? And when you're talking about support, you're not necessarily talking about financial support, because that is what mostly people think. When you're talking about emotional support, you look for people. How many people can I talk to when I have a problem? How many people can advise me when I'm going wrong? When I want to make a decision, you know, there are decisions in life that you have to inquire. It's more of a research. You have to do a background check, then make that decision. You'll definitely need people to assist you with that, you see? So if you develop a healthy social framework and develop a healthy physical and nutrition perspective, then at the end of the day, you'll achieve mental health. Yes.